What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rich. So today is the day your boy is finally going to be leaving Canon for Sony. For the past 6 years, my go-to camera has been the Canon 90D, which is what I'm recording with right now. There's nothing really wrong with my setup. I love it to death, but I just need to see if the grass really is greener on the other side. And after countless hours of research, visiting multiple camera stores, testing various models, I ultimately went with the Sony A7C II. Alright, so we're heading out to Delaware right now, pick up the Sony A7C. I'm super excited for her. Delaware is one of the few states in America that you can buy things tax-free. This is a pretty big purchase, so your boy's trying to save all the money he can. I'm doing curbside pickup. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I think they should walk out and hand me the camera, and we'll see how that is. And I always see these curbside pickups at these food places or, you know, Walmart's, Best Buys I go to. I can never park at the very front, but now I can. Something I really wanted to do for the longest with some of these retailers. I'm going to do that today. Ah, there it is. Curbside pickup #1. Take the #1 spot. Your boy Rich is #1, right? It was his hat, Mr. Krabs. He was #1.
It was his hat, Mr. Krabs. He was #1.
All the videos I've been filming on the channel has been with the Canon 90D. And it's a great camera for sure. Over time, I think it's time for a change. I think it's time to switch. And plus, this camera's getting really heavy. A lot of my friends were on the Sony waves back in like 2022, 2023. I might stay with the Canon camera for a little bit and see how it is.
Whoa.
Hey, what's up?
Let's go.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, boss. Finally! Actually, that wasn't too bad. I only waited 4 minutes. A7C. I don't know if I want to unbox it now. I'll probably unbox it when I get home. All right, guys. We are back. Here it is. Let's just unbox this thing right away. A7C II strap, pretty lightweight. All right, it's not as durable and thick as the Canon ones. But as you can see right here, this is from my EOS 90D. Just thick, it's strong. This one seems a little bit like lighter, like a fabric strap. Here's our battery. It's called the NPF Z100 batteries. Here we go, baby. Oh my gosh, that is, I could already just feel the weight difference. Oh. I kind of already played around with this in my last day in the life video when I filmed the iPhone 16e. You guys can watch that video up there. I went into a camera store and I was able to test it out before buying this, but seeing it in this new pristine condition is just really, really cool. The grip is pretty nice too. I think I may need to charge this. Wait, what? No battery charger? How am I gonna charge this? My battery pack out. Battery exhausted. Well, they shipped me a dead battery. I'm gonna wait for this to charge. Bro, what's with these companies like Apple and Samsung? They're just not shipping battery bricks anymore. I still want a battery brick. How are you not gonna give me one? One of the biggest reasons I wanted to switch was just the sheer weight of my current setup. I was constantly lugging it around to a bunch of restaurants or public places, and it was just too big, too cumbersome to hold. Also, the autofocus would be just a little sluggish sometimes. And while my Canon 90D sensor is sharp, I just wanted to see what Sony was all about. The biggest challenge, however, was trying to find the right lens. I wanted something that was wide enough for tech videos, something good enough for vlogs, but also had a fast aperture to film those cinematic, crispy shots I always wanted. I was torn between the Tamron 17 to 28mm lens or the Sony G 20mm 1.8. Ultimately, I decided to go with the Tamron instead. It was just more affordable. They had the added versatility of a zoom range, and I managed to find one on eBay for a pretty good price. Ooh, there it is. Let's check if the actual lenses, if there's any scratches or anything like that. That's a big deal here. Damn, this is really good. Near mint condition. I mean, hey, that's what they say on the headlines. I trust it. And as always, a lot of these websites have a backing guarantee, you know, like the eBay guarantee that, you know, if the seller ships something that's kind of whack, you can contact eBay and have them refund you. So, I mean, worst case scenario is you might go through a little bit of a headache, but this is like really good lens. I don't know if I would be able to tell the difference between this and a new one. As many of you guys know, I'm a huge fan of buying used and refurbished tech off sites like Amazon Refurbish, eBay, Back Market, and similar platforms. If you can save a few bucks on, I think it's worth a jump. That said, I always do my homework researching the seller, asking them a bunch of questions to make sure everything checks out. All right, so here it is. What do I think of the A7C II? Honestly, I love it a lot. The shutter sound is super satisfying. The camera feels great in the hand. The build quality is excellent and it's incredibly lightweight, just 509 grams. And that makes a huge difference when vlogging and taking out to public places, you know, and it's just generally more convenient. Ergonomically, it's really nice to hold. I just grab it by the lens and body right here. That said, I do have a few concerns. The USB-C port feels a little wobbly, definitely not as secure as a smartphone's charging port, and I'm a little worried how it'll hold up over time with frequent plugging and unplugging. Also, the flip-out touchscreen doesn't feel quite as sturdy or premium as the one on my Canon 90D. The 90D felt like a tank, honestly. It felt like a brick, and while the A7C is well designed, it just doesn't feel quite as rugged in comparison. I mean, just look at these. This camera shoots up to 33 megapixels and can get up to a maximum of 204,800 ISO. And right now, I'm gonna switch over to the A7C so you guys can take a look at that. All right, guys, what do you think? Damn. I feel a little different now with the Sony. One of the cool kids now. I'm like way too cool for this. You know the vibes, you know the vibes. All right, I'm gonna stop playing. All right, so yeah, here's what it looks like vlogging. My hand is just, you know, yay distance away. But stabilization is pretty nice. I'm just walking around with it. I'm definitely gonna be shooting more videos, practically almost all the videos now with this camera. So stay tuned for that. So much lighter in my hand, oh my goodness. All right, y'all, so I want to do a nighttime test with the A7C. Right now we're ISO 4000, and I just want to test out how bright this gets. We have the computer in the back. It's dimly lit. There's nothing much going on right now, but let's just bump this up to 25,600. All the way to 100,000, which is pretty crazy. This is basically like night vision here. Everything in the back is pretty dark right now too, but there's a sheer capability of the A7C. This thing is really crazy, bro. This is insane. So now the one thing I'll say I miss about switching over to Sony is that their menu system is a little bit hard to get used to. Canon's I felt like was much more simpler. Also, when it comes to file organization, I don't know why on Sony I gotta go through like private into the M4 root folder, and then when I create videos, they leave this dot something file, I forget, and it just looks so messy. While with Canon, it's just literally point and shoot. You have the file, no more mess. So I just have to get used to it. But if any of you guys have been on Sony for a while, let me know how it is. Do you think the file organization or just menus and all that is a little bit more difficult or cumbersome than Canon's? That's the one thing I think I'll surely miss. But until then, I feel like I'm turning a whole new leaf. All right, guys, that's all I got for today's video. If you liked it, hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. Until next one, Rich Me signing off.